Bro, that's the. I think the tragedy is that women start to prioritize their emotion over their children. What they feel becomes more important than their child. And in the name of revenge, they've chosen to let their children suffer. You feel what I'm saying? And this was crazy, bro. This was crazy. Now, it's not a thing that this child missing visits with their daddy. You feel me? Like nothing that don't even matter. But you ain't letting them miss school. You feel what I'm saying? Who's more important to a child development? The father that they came from, or a school with some people in there that don't know nothing about this child and don't care about him? You ain't gonna let them miss no appointments to nothing. You ain't gonna you gonna make sure they hair did. You gonna do all this stuff, but you don't prioritize their dad. So why would you go and buy a kid a pair of Jordans and you gonna give them some shoes, but you ain't gonna give them their daddy? You feel what I'm saying? They daddy is the best thing you could ever give them. I don't even care. I don't care how what he may be going through, or what you think about him. It ain't about you. Like, bro, I'm a product of that. My mama hated my daddy, bro, so she ain't let me meet him. You know what I'm saying? Bro, I met my dad and my whole life changed. Nigga took me to the mall, bought me shoes and clothes, and that's the first time I ever had some of that stuff. I could have been having that my whole life, but I got teased. I got teased and bullied for not having clothes and shoes all my life because my mama was trying to teach my dad a lesson. So you punish your child and put me through that for my whole life. You feel what I'm saying? I'ma just say this, bro. If you a woman and you want to die from cancer, or you want to die from a sickness, or you want your life as an older woman to be miserable and you to get punished, play with your child. Because, bro, in the Bible it say you better off being thrown in the ocean with a boulder around your neck than to harm a child. Because, bro, in the Bible it say you better off being thrown in the ocean with a boulder around your neck than to harm a child. And keeping a father from a child is harming a child. You feel what I'm saying? That's the worst thing you can do to a child. You want to see God's wrath? Play with your child.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 14, verse 1. Every wise woman buildeth her house, but the foolish plucketh it down with her hands. Call Hulayim La, Abanawa Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakat Kwadash. Double honors to the elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone who rule well. Salutations to the Akim out there on the highways and the byways. Salutations to the hopeful elect. Salutations to you speckled birds, you Israelite foreigners. And shalom to the Akwaf, sitting and listening in silence as the scriptures say to do so. Proverbs chapter 14 verse 1. Every wise woman buildeth her house, but the foolish plucketh it down with their hands. And you know, those wise women have been ordained and given the instructions, the guidelines, the ordinances of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai through their fathers. You know, because their father was a man of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, and furthermore, basically edifying their children with the correct standards of life. And the foolish is the ones that partake and drink the wine and cleave onto the philosophies of this world, man. And also, too, the third example is the pleasure and will of the Lord. Because as we know, man, this is a punishment, a curse that is placed upon us from Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, man. All these things that we go through with our woman is an example of what we done to Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. Okay, because everything is upside down in society. And the strongholds, the idolatry, the false religions that we cleaved onto in the past over and over again, it's just a reflection of what we have done against Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, man. So the Lord is justified in everything that he has established and put us through. But there shall and will be a recompense and judgment for the things that our people have done and have partaken in, and had no remorse, no pity, no consideration, no logical, spiritual, and actual intellect in the things that they believe is correct. Okay, and also too, as I always have to state, and I will state again, this is not a video to bash the so-called black woman, the so-called Native, Seminole Indian, Hispanic, so-called Southern Kingdom, or so-called black woman, which is, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. This is example to look at the whole picture. Okay, because if we had, as the beloved Elder Apostle the Heart stated in various videos and always, made it firm, if we had the comfort from our woman, then this captivity would not be as harsh, would not be as grievous, horrific, vexing. But again, prophecy has to be fulfilled, man. A lot of stuff that we read in our Bible that we're seeing right now, and one in particular, Genesis 3 verse 16, in a different translation, it roughly states that the woman shall have a desire to control her husband, and which that's being fulfilled right now, man. And also in Jeremiah 31 verse 22 is that the woman shall compass a man, and that basically states that the woman shall run circles around the man. Okay, so also knowing is that the woman has been beguiled by the serpent, the damn devil, Esau Edom, the so-called super clean white man, to believe the indoctrination, his philosophy, his ways, to believe that she should be above, not equal, or not submissive to the man. Okay, because we know that a man is very valuable in every aspect of life, especially in the family structure when it comes to the children, and especially not only the women but also the men, because the men are the leaders. So we know that the father builds the foundation, the father brings structure, the father brings things that is needed to progress and succeed within that household and also within the nation, man. So let's grab this. And we also know that the woman is the weaker vessel. Matter of fact, let's grab that first. And then we'll grab the other precept that I want to grab. And that we have to, deal with these women according to knowledge. This is 1 Peter chapter 3. And I'm going to start off at verse... Let me see here. Salakia. Let's start off at verse... I'm going to go straight to the point. Start off at verse 7. Likewise, ye husbands, dwell with them according to knowledge, giving honor unto the wife as unto the weaker vessel. So we have the knowledge right now that's been given back to us from Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, because we didn't have the correct knowledge that was grafted and again educated to us in this society, in this captivity, because we were told to pedestalize the woman, to treat her as a queen, and we didn't know the true definition of queen. So you were always told to treat the woman she is very delicate, and to treat the woman with to have no accountability, to be blameless, to be innocent. All these things, man. We were taught by Esau in this captivity, only towards you Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native and Seminole Indians, only told amongst our nation to treat the woman above us, to be a simp, to be weak, to pedestalize the woman, to get down on bending knee, to beg for something that realistically doesn't belong to you. Because 9 times out of 10, she's not a virgin. She's not pure. And furthermore, she's not innocent. Okay? But it all goes back to a blueprint of destroying our nation, to keep us docile and to keep us in a state of dominance to our oppressor, to keep our people in a zombie-like mind state, in a baby boy mindset, to be weak. Okay, but now that we have been given back that knowledge, that wisdom, and unlocked that understanding from Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, we understand the true structure, the true guidelines, the true ordinances of how the family is supposed to be constructed. Is how the family is supposed to be completely in righteousness formulated, man. And we know how to go about discernment because, again, the Lord has activated and awoken us and edified and sanctified and purified us with the word, man. So we know the true way of the household. We know the true way of our nation. We know the true way of how to conduct ourselves, man. And again, this goes back to what we have done as men, as women, as children, to be disrespectful, disobedient, rebellious against Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. So not only are the men, women, and children suffering, but our whole nation is suffering because of what we have done. And yes, it's going to fall harder on the men because women, what do? They adapt. Okay, which is also right now, regardless, it's still treason, it's still betrayal, but they adapt to survive. They adapt because a woman doesn't have the same spirit, the same mentality as a man. And you also have men too that are punk ass bitches, man. And I'm gonna say it like that correctly. Punk ass bitches, man. That will have the mindset, the spirit of a woman, that'll do the things that women do. But you actually have men that are actually men that will stand firm on the judgment, that will actually deal with what is brought upon them. Okay, according to the matters that Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai has ordained and commanded, man. Okay, so you have men that'll actually just take the judgment, the punishment, the recompense, and you have men that'll fold and conform to the captivity. Okay, so and those men that take heed, as it states. Matter of fact, let's grab a precept for it, because I'm not going. It's better off to let Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai speak and not ourselves. But this is Micah chapter 7, and I'm gonna read verse 9. I will bear the indignation of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, because I have sinned against him. So those that are spiritually enlightened, those that are spiritually enlightened and awakened, we understand that we went off. We understand that we erred and disrespected, were rebellious, disobedient to Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. So we understand what is happening around us. We understand the judgment, why we suffer, why we go through the things we go through. And this alone, what this Jake was talking about, is very personal to me, man. Because regardless of the statistics and the data and the stats and everything else, even of the curses, the so-called black, Latino, Hispanic, Native and Seminole Indian man really wants to and is involved in their child's life, man. Me, myself in particular, man. I was so involved with my children and everybody else in general, man, that I didn't seek my own happiness. I didn't seek my own comfort. I didn't seek my own purpose. The Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai had to take away my kids, those that I felt that was near and dear to me, that I admired and that I loved. He had to take them away from me for me to get on track. He had to put me through multiple stages for me to be what I am right now. And I don't regret what the Lord put me through. I don't regret what the Lord had me go through to realize my calling, my true position on earth. Now, do I have a concern for my children? Do I want my children to receive salvation and to be a part of the elect? Yes. I would be lying to you if I said no. I do. I hope and I pray that Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai considers have mercy, pity upon my children. Okay? But I also understand and know and most of all want the Lord's will to be done. So if it's in the Lord's will to have pity and to spare and have mercy upon my kids, Thawadi Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. But if it's in His will to destroy my kids and to give them back to me in the kingdom, Thawadi Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. Okay? Philippians 2 verse 12. Seek out thy own salvation with fear and trembling. Roughly paraphrasing just a portion of the precept. I am at peace with the Lord and what He has ordained and what He has manifested and declared from the beginning. I understand that. Everybody has their own walk in this truth in life in general. Okay? And I'm not going to fight against Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, my Heavenly Father and His Son, to be selfish. And amongst other things that I could state right now. Okay? But again, Micah 7 verse 9. I will bear the indignation of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, because I have sinned against Him, until He plead my cause and execute judgment for me. He will bring me forth to the light, and I will behold His righteousness. And that's what we're waiting for. We're waiting for Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai to establish our cause, to plead what we have declared, to show forth our obedience and our dedication to Him. Okay, because we have been transformed and renewed, man. And we want to be a part of that first resurrection. We want to be a part of hearing, good job, thou faithful and diligent servant, man. Because we saw the whole picture. We saw the agenda. We understood the error of our nation, the error of our ways, man. So the more you grow in this truth, the more you understand the position of the woman, the position of the child, the position of the man. We understand that the Lord has brought these things upon us for judgment, for punishment, for chastisement. Is it correct for our people to do these things? No. But it's also an example for what we have done to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. That's a part of the big picture that you have to recognize, man. I had a Jake come on my live stream last week, if I'm not mistaken, talking about the damn woman. Now, again, as this is a lesson, as you see, Jake is talking about the woman. But when you grow and you have more understanding, you elevate, you have more years, you're dedicated, more things are revealed to you. So in the beginning, you have this type of spirit against women where you're all over the place and you're unstable. But you have to ask the Lord to give you more understanding, to humble you more, to understand what's happening, man. You can't base this whole truth just about women and have basically, to be clear and blunt and honest, to be hurt. Because that's what it truly is. Like, come on, brothers. All brothers, man. A woman, at some point that you actually loved, actually did everything for, that you probably more than likely treated right, protected, etc. And she hurt you, man. And that's how Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai felt. But we went above and beyond than what the woman actually did. And again, this is not to defend. This is not to exempt. This is not to say that women are correct in what they do. Nah, these bitches, because that's what they are. A self-willed woman shall be counted as a bitch, roughly paraphrasing, in the GNT, Sirach, chapter 26. She's going to receive her judgment. Nobody's exempt. And I'm not getting soft. I'm not being weak. I'm just seeing the whole picture. I'm growing. Okay? Period, man. So let's grab this real quick. And I'm going to close out. Because again, man, like I said, man, this is a personal issue for me. What I went through with my kids and my ex-demon. Well, so like my demon. Because I'm still alive. And she alive. And you basically, as a state, she still belonged to me. So, what is that I wanted? Salaki. Okay, con. So, we got to move and focus on bigger and better things. Because we're going to have 100-fold in the kingdom. You know, you're going to have that woman that you desired in this world in the kingdom in righteousness. And you're going to have multiple women that's going to be to your delight, that's going to be to your pleasure. And it's just not about, and you know, a lot of Israelites, a lot of you men have to really stop being carnal minded and be spiritual. It's not about just having some different box, man. But you know, I'm not going to lie. I like variety. I like different women, but I know that this is hell. This is a nightmare. This is punishment. So I gotta control that urge and everything else, and understand that's not going to be for my benefit. That's not going to be for me to have a mind clear and a mind that's going to be able to be clear. And have completely, what's the word I'm looking for? Salakia. Completely structure and no issues to just say. You know, the more women you deal with, you know, regardless, you know, because if you can manage a lot of women, that's a blessing. But when you're really focused on this truth and really going forward and moving forward and doing the Lord's will and really taking heed to your calling and really being dedicated, you can't have a mind towards the truth and towards the scriptures and studying, etc., and then have a mind to, you know, really adapt to delight and pleasure and entertain 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 women, man. It's not going to fucking happen, man. Okay? And Paul made it clear in 1 Corinthians chapter 7, man. You're going to have troubled times dealing with the women. You're going to have hardship, etc. Okay? Point blank period, man. But let me grab this. This is Sirach chapter 3, verse 9. Sirach chapter 3, verse 9. For the blessing of the father established the house of children, but the curse of the mother rooteth out foundations. And Esau knows that. Esau knows what the man in the household is going to establish a solid foundation for the children to progress, to move forward, to walk uprightly and righteously, to have moral standards, etc. But he knows if you take out the man and establish the woman in his position, that foundation is going to be rocky, unstable. It's going to be carnal. It's going to be according to the standards of that captivity. Okay? Because the woman wants pleasure. The woman wants, to have a life where it's going to acknowledge her as a valuable asset. Because, you have, come on, man. Do I got to go into detail? Look at social media. Go on to Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, all these platforms, man. You see how proud women are A woman wants her life to be a novel, a movie, a drama, suspense. She wants to be the main attraction in that movie, and the main attraction in that broadcast, man. Because that's the me spirit. You know, 2 Timothy chapter 3 verse 1 on down, man. Men shall become lovers of their own selves, man. That's not only happening right now. That's been happening. But it's being amplified in these last days, man. Okay? And you know, you have to have you literally just have to sit back sometime and just look at everything around you, look at everything that's going on, man. You have to constantly stay in the spirit, man. Just to remind yourself. Okay? Because again, with that man being taken out of the house, Esau, you know, as it states in let me grab that real quick. Salakia. I know I said that was the last precept, but the Lord bringing other stuff to my head. I'm going to grab two more. Abanawa Ratazah. So this is St. Mark chapter 3, verse 27. No man can enter into a strong man's house and spoil his goods, except he will first bind the strong man, and then he will spoil his house. So he bound us. Okay, redlining, drugs. Okay, bringing forth draconian measures when it comes to the law. You know, when with Bill Clinton and them, the laws that him and, you know, Jim Crow Biden, you know, Joe Biden had brought in the 90s, man, and the Clinton signed it in. You know, all these strange, you know, Jim Crow laws, all these things gravitated more and more to oppress the man, not the woman, the man. It made it hard for men to get jobs, and the jobs that men wanted, he gave to our women. Okay, laws, you know, men out here, you know, attempting to be in the pharmaceutical streets positions, you know, selling all type of narcotics and stuff just to take care of the family, and you get caught, you know, you get more years selling pharmaceutical street things than actually committing murder, man. And then, you know, 2 or 3 times you get life. You know, the first time you get what, 5 to 10 years, 5 to 15. The second time, you know, 10 to 25, and then after that, it's life. You know, just because something is formulated in the kitchen that is made hard from soft. But you have Edomites that are actually being PEDOs, slaying people left and right, doing all types of, criminal acts. But they get probation, fines, a slap on the wrist. So all these things that were formulated against the Israelite man were to bind you. And again, the housing plan. You know, you got to keep the man out the house. You know, we'll feed your kids. We'll give you this. We'll give you that. We'll be the father. The government will be the father towards your kids. And we'll give you these grant programs for you to go to college to get your associates, your masters, your bachelors, etc. So all these things indoctrinated the woman to basically believe and see that they don't need the man, and not see the whole big picture that's destroying the family unit. And now you have these YNs killing each other, being emotional, having the characteristics of women. And it's the same thing when I look, you know, even though I was involved in my son's life, even though that their mother, because I didn't want to be with her until this day right now, which I've always spoken and said about, I didn't want to take her back and be with her and forgive her. She has turned my children against me. So since I don't want to take her funky, raggedy ass, worn out ass back, and that's clear as blunt, it's the truth. All the shit you have done, the men you laid with, the dicks you sucked, the motherfuckers you let shoot up in you and everything else, the demons you have when you're not supposed to deal with that shit, fuck you. Okay? And if you don't like it, unsubscribe, man. I'm being truthful. I don't like speaking about my situation, but it is what it is, man. Because everybody's going through something. And, you know, women have gone through stuff too. Okay? It could be a vice versa situation. But I see emotions of women, traits and everything else in my children, man. It's like, God damn. Even when you're there and attempting to be a father. And Esau knows that because why? We'll close out here. Esau knows that because why? This is the book of Sirach, chapter 30. And I'm going to start off at verse 3. He that teacheth his son grieveth the enemy, and before his friends he shall rejoice of him. So those of us that are involved in our son's life, we're going to teach them how to be men, how to have standards, how to have morals, how to walk uprightly and in righteousness, man. And Esau knows that. That's why he had to bind the strong man, the Israelite man, and take us out of the household and develop, elevate. God damn. I'm excited, and I'm a lot of stuff going through my mind. Elevate the woman in the man's position. Because as I read to you in Proverbs 14, verse 1, a woman will pluck him down and destroy her household because there's no structure, there's no man in the household to guide it. Okay? So Sirach 30, verse 3 again. He that teacheth his son grieveth the enemy, and before his friends he shall rejoice of him. Though his father die, though his father die, yet he is as though he were not dead, for he have left one behind, for he have left one behind him that is like himself. And Esau does not want that to happen. And you know, again, Yahweh Shem Yahushai basically manifested for it to be like this. You know, for us to go through our judgment, our punishment, for us to have the plague of our minds, man. For us to have no rest according to the curses, man. You know? So, you know, those of us, I don't want to rock the Zav, the remnant, which we hope and pray to be, we understand the big picture, man. We understand what's going on. And again, it's not to exempt the women, the man, any of wicked Israelites. Point blank period, man. And I'm not defending no damn women. I'm just talking about the big picture. Period. You got to grow. You got to elevate. You got to, you know, go above and beyond to see things at a higher stage than what you are now, man. Okay? So I don't want to rock this out, man. I hope and I pray that this was edifying, uplifting, and informative to the true sincere Akim Wa Akwaf. So with that, I'm just going to say, Shalom.